So here's how I would try to explain this so that it's obvious to what I'm doing. I've stacked these in an order that you can easily see what the order is. Normally, when you're doing a trick, you would stack it in an order that would not be obvious. But I've got the aces, the black aces paired, ace, twos, threes, and then so on. When we get to the red cards, the ace of hearts and diamonds, and the two of hearts and diamonds, and so forth. So since the spectator will be handling the cards, I want to be able to correct anything in case they drop a card or do something that's going to goof up the trick. So my pattern would be that I'm going to see if they have an aptitude to learn to be a magician. So I tell them, first of all, I'm going to have them cut the cards, and what that means is they lift up a section of cards, and I want them to try to cut the cards pretty much in half. So they can try a couple times until they get the cards about in half and to lay the section down. And then they got a free choice of which half they want to discard. In other words, which half we don't want to use. So let's say they pick this half. So we get that out of the way. Let's say now I want two even piles of cards. In other words, even number of cards in each pile. So we're going to count the cards, and I'll have them pick the cards up and deal them, counting them as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, well, it just works out that they're even piles. Now if there would be a 25th card, whichever pile the 25th card would go down on, I'd say, well, that's too many cards. They're not even, so we'll take that 25th card off and we'll toss that out. But it worked out to be even here. Next, I say take this piece of paper and cover any pile you want. We'll just keep that safe so nothing disturbs that, and then we'll use the other one. So let's say they cover this pile. So I say now, I'm going to have you pick up the cards. Now we had 24 cards. If you divide that in two, that would be 12. So we've got enough cards so I can tell them to pick a number between 1 and 10. So let's say they pick 2 and 8. So I say, okay, deal down 2 cards, 1, 2. Now pick those cards up and turn them face up on your packet here. The next number that you picked was 8. Deal down 8 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now pick that packet up, turn it over, and put it on top. Then you can lay that down next to the pile here. Even though we began with a shuffled deck of cards and you cut them in half, we discarded one, then we counted them out, and you mix the cards up here. Let's see if you were able to do a little magic by making these cards match one another, which kind of seems impossible, but we'll give it a try. We turn up one from this deck and turn up one from this deck. Wow, they match. They're both aces. And so as they're turned up, of course, now some will be face up, some will be face down, but they'll match. And so forth. Now if you didn't want to end up with some cards face up and face down, you could have them turn the cards over and just have them deal the cards down, and when they have a face up one, just turn it face down, face down, face down. This one's already face down, so you just deal that down. And face up, so I turn it down, turn it down. Now when they turn the cards over, they will all match and they'll all be face down. So that's a choice. I don't know which way is, if one way is any better than the other, but that is a choice. So that's my idea of how this works. If somebody could come up with a better way for the spectator to shuffle, it has to be fairly simple so they don't mess up. But this was a way that Doulos had on his post that he made in the metal effect.